So here we are in a student essay. This is a first pass essay from a student who gave me permission to use it. And I am in Microsoft Word, and I'm using what we call a quick access bar up at the top. These are commands that I have found that I use quite a bit, so I just made a little quick access bar, and that's why you don't see the whole ribbon. But in any case, let's take a look at what we have here. I'm going to turn on track changes so you get to see the changes that I make in this. And now I'm going to simply run the Office tools. But before I do, I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Options. I'm going to go to Proofing. I'm going to go to Grammar and Refinements down here. Now, when you open this up, you'll see that it's set only to grammar. You want to set it to Grammar and Refinements. And then you want to check Settings. Now, I've set this up so that I have all of the settings checked because I tend to check all of the settings. But you'll want to go through and look at these, and you'll see that there are many rules that this thing can check for. Agreement with noun phrases, comma splices, date formatting, embarrassing words, missing commas, question marks missing, redundant colons. I'll go on and on and on in these things. There's just a lot of it. Subject-verb agreement, unnecessary hyphens, confusion between which and who and whom. And then there's a set of clarity issues. These are the grammar issues. And then there's a set of clarity issues. Adjective orders, jargon, passive voice with unknown actors. I'm going to click on that to see if we can find something in this essay in that. Sentence structure, simple wording, split infinitives, etc. There's also conciseness issues that it looks for, wordiness, words expressing uncertainty, and then some formality issues. Since this is a formal essay, I'm going to, I want to check for contractions because in formal essays you tend not to use contractions. Whether there's informal language, slang, or subjunctive moods. Is the subjunctive mood being used correctly? There's inclusiveness issues, age bias, ethnic slurs, gender bias, gender-specific language, sexual orientation bias. There's punctuation conventions that it looks for, commas with adverbials, unnecessary commas. Notice that you can change the punctuation so you can have quotes inside or outside, quotation marks inside or outside a quote, spaces between sentences. If you're writing resumes, there's a set of qualifiers that you can look at there. And then finally, it looks at some vocabulary issues, cliches, profanity, weak verbs. Click on all of these and have it check your essay or any writing. I'm going to say OK. I'm going to say recheck the document. And I'm going to click OK here. And now I'm going to run an analysis of this. And for that, I click on the editing key. And what you see here is it immediately comes up with a set of total suggestions that it can use. Some of them relate to spelling, some to grammar, some to clarity, conciseness, formality, etc. And I'm going to just simply walk through these now. So here it's found an informal word, wanna, instead of want to, but this is a quote. And since it's a quote, I'm assuming it's dialogue, and I'm assuming that the writer intentionally wanted that to say wanna. So I'm going to ignore that once. Now I'm going to look at some grammar issues. Here it's suggesting double click whether a comma is needed here. So at school, if we were playing a game, I had to be the best. In this particular case, there seems like you want to have a pause there. So I would say, okay, let's make that change. And as you can see, it had made the change up there. At my family's reunion, my mom's friend Mark, now here, this is a possessive form and it doesn't have the apostrophe S in it. And it says possible word choice error. So I say, yes, that is a possible word choice. Masterclass is one word. I'll go with that. Here it's telling me that I don't need this comma. It's better to have no comma between these phrases. So I'll just click on, yeah, let's get rid of that. Here it says let's. This is a contraction for let us go. And in this particular case, it should be changed because it's fine. Here we have I follow, curious to say, and he lead me over the dividing board. Now, is that correct or not? Let me see. I may go up here and just simply have that read to me. Well, sure enough, that sounds like it's not correct. And I may want to go back to that and change that to led. Do that. Hyphenate this. Here it's telling me after an introductory word or phrase, a comma is best. Finally, again, another introductory word. Here it's saying that I may want to consider having a comma here, and I'll read this sentence quickly and determine, yes, that's something that I want to do. Now I'll go to clarity. This is telling me that saying who or what did the action would be clearer. So this is a question of a passive voice, and I'm going to ignore this. I'll come back to that when I have some time. I'll come back to that one when I have some time. And I want to look at formality again. So here what we're looking at is because I had checked for contractions in the set of rules, it's going to basically ask me, do I want to change all of my contractions to formal use? And I'll say, yeah, I do want to do that. This is a formal essay. So I finished most of those. There's still a few more to go through. Here, again, it's saying who or what did the action would be clear, and sometimes it will offer a suggestion here. I'm going to ignore that. Here it's suggesting a simpler word would be clearer for your reader. I could not locate him, and this is suggesting I could not find him, and I'm going to make that change. However, I don't know whether he wants or she wants that to be the word that we use, so I'm going to add a comment, and I'm going to go to my comment section, go to my stored comments, and I'm going to write here, Microsoft Word suggested this change. What do you think? And leave it at that. So let me finish off here. Go back to the essay. Here it's suggesting words expressing uncertainty lessen your impact. Even with the lifeguard there, I was not quite sure he could reach me in the time I needed. I can actually read this if I want here. So I'm thinking, why don't I just say I am not sure he could reach me and change that one. Again, probably just words expressing uncertainty. That could be more effective if I use the word just instead. And I can go through the rest of these and finish them off. Again, I can make some changes. I'm going to ignore the rest of these and get to the very end. Here's one that says, anyways, this term may strike your reader as too informal. And since this is a formal essay, I think I will accept that change. And now I'm going to finish up. Now notice when I finished up, I had checked readability scores. And what I'm looking at here is a general review of the essay. It's telling me that the reading ease index is 75. And if I understand that correctly, that's saying that it's relatively easy to read. It's telling me that it's written at about a 7th grade level, which is a little low, but it's fine. And it's telling me that 5.5% of my sentences are passive, which means if I change a few of those sentences, I might be able to increase the grade level for this. But that's something that over time I would learn to use and take advantage of. Right now, I just wanted to show it to you. It's something you can run. The other point is that it has word sentences about 18 sentences per word on average, and that's a good length. Okay,